encompass so much in one performance, and I think that is what attracted me.
As a Kathak dancer, I was attracted by flamenco dance, which has such familiar rhythmic movements.
We started experimenting and found our collaboration led us to new discoveries, new patterns.
We've called this piece Reflections because the movements of the East are reflected in the West and those of the West in the East.
With this success, we are now on our way to creating something more ambitious and elaborate.
People ask me all the time, are you Hindu? And I say no. Are you Muslim? No. Are you Christian? And in all honesty, I have to say no, although that's the way I was brought up. I tend to sort of feel that the dance is my religion and my way of life. But rather than religion or religious, I consider it spiritual. There are different elements to Kathak. One is the nrit, or pure or abstract dance. That is movement that has no specific meaning, but it's very stylized. And then there's what's known as natyam, which is basically drama. Whether it's wonder, whether it's laughter, whether it's love. Kathak has a more human way of portraying these emotions. We have to be able to perform all of the different characters within any given story. Anything from a thunderstorm to a flower blooming, to a woman in love, to a man in love, to a mother's love for her child, a child's playfulness with nature.
High with turns.
That's right. Flamenco is an art form of music, singing and dance that has evolved over many centuries. Flamenco is a way of life. We dance, we sing, we think, we eat, we sleep flamenco. We have the rhythm in our system, in our bodies. We're thinking in rhythms. We dance in rhythm. We speak in rhythm. Flamenco is an individual expression, so I can express myself in one small area. I don't need a large area to express anything. In flamenco, I can just be here and just really feel that rhythm and the feeling for the whole dance. Kathak and flamenco have a common ancient history.
The roots of flamenco dance are Kathak roots. It's of course taken on its own flavor over the migration and over its own environment. There were bands of minstrels known as kathakas, or storytellers, who moved out of the temples to enact plays with spoken word and music and dance to enact the mythological and philosophical stories. They then moved into what became known as the Mughal courts of North India, and that's where the real rigor and codified classical tradition as we know it today developed. The gypsies migrated out of northern India and moved then into Iran, Arabia, the Middle East, into Eastern Europe.
Some of them settled in the south of Spain, and mixed with the culture that already existed, the musical traditions of the south of Spain, Andalusia, came a blend of this flamenco, what we call flamenco. We have almost identical footworks, although flamenco now dances with shoes. Initially they didn't. Initially they danced in bare feet. Many of the steps that we do in flamenco that are very common steps, Joanna also does in Kathak. So it was interesting to discover that.
Right, and then this way. Okay. So 2, ready, and
we do turns in a very similar fashion, chakras we call them in Kathak, but turns in a very similar fashion. In flamenco, they have an extremely stylized hand, based, I know, on the mudras when you see it. So there's very much this link.
The music is so linked, there's so much similarity in the music that the style of dance must fit it in both flamenco and in Kathak.
And I will be back here.
Then we dance in bare feet, but we do wear small brass bells around our ankles, a large number of them, up to 225 around each leg, and they're called ghungru. They're made out of brass and they have lead centers in them. I must have put on my bells close to 200,000 or 300,000 times. I actually practiced every single day for 14 to 15 years. I didn't miss a day. Because there's such a weight, it's very different than dancing without them on. And what they actually do is they then turn your body into a percussive musical instrument.
Really looking nicely to the upper hand. Round and first one.
Coming back. We like to speak with our feet. Not concrete sentences or stories, but shadings of sounds that give nuances and subtleties and bold statements. The ball of the foot has a nice round sound. The heel, a sharper sound. The whole foot stamping on the floor is very emphatic. The point of the foot of the shoe also brushes with the nails on the tip of the shoe. We just work with the different patterns of rhythms in compasses or musical phrases of 8 beats or 12 beats, and from there, endless variations.
We have a stylized way of holding the hand when telling a story. We utilize this for gungat, for pulling veil, showing a female character. Shikara mudra, used in one hand as a bow, showing that vir element or heroic element, holding a bow. Mrig Shirsha, enacting deer, how you would show deer. And of course you have to then add your body and hop to this or show the meanderings of a deer or the focus of a deer. Birds. Butterfly. Water. Many of these different things are utilized within storytelling and then improvised upon.
Our hand clapping is called palmas, and basically we have 2 styles of palmas. One is the muffled sound, and that's just the palms of the hand, not involving the fingers, coming together in a cupped position and creating a very deep bass sound. The palma abierta is the sharp sound, and we just create that with actually only 3 fingers on the palm, and we just trap the air and make a sharp sound, which also we use for accompaniment of the dance or during our dance. Pitos are the finger snaps. The pitos usually are done in combination with a sound of your foot, or many times it's done in combination with the sound of the foot. And it sounds like a triple sound, but it's actually only 2 sounds, the 3rd sound coming from the foot. So we just create this triple sound, this triplet sound. The carriage of the dancers denotes a certain strength and pride in the way they hold themselves. Strength is what it denotes, especially in the back. You take a note of how the back looks. It's very strong, upright, not too much of an arch, really. There's a pullback in the upper back, in the upper back and in the arms. A lot happens in the upper back and the arms. But as far as the lower back, that's pretty straight.
Natal is a circular rhythm of a fixed number of beats. Sum is basically the first beat in any rhythmic cycle. Just a small example, I'll give you a rhythmic cycle of 16 beats. It's called tintal, and we would establish the rhythm from 13. So in English numbers, it goes like this. 13, 14, 15, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. On the drum, te, te, din, ta, din, ta, some is da, din, ta, din, ta, da, din, ta, din.
Release the wrist, da, din, shogun, ta, car, and ta, te, tat, te, ti, high, and tat, te, tat, te, tat.
There's a wonderful thing about having a tabla player match stroke for stroke on the drums what you're doing rhythmically with your feet. It's a real risk and it's great fun and it's very exciting.
The songs were the beginning of flamenco. The melody inspires us to put the feeling into it, but that we are dancing always in a specified rhythm, which comes about from the different songs.
A ti te quiero, ay, porque sé que tu cariño, ay, no es cariño por dinero.
These are songs of love.
Y de no dormir por la noche.
Within the sadness of their songs is also, I find, a lot of truth that can apply to many cultures, all human beings.
We'll be right back with Vision TV Insight.